Okay, so we'll take a close look now at the Ultion unboxed, and you can immediately see the 3 stars. That's referring, of course, to the 3-star British Standard TS007. The diamond below it stands out quite nicely. That, of course, referring to the Secure Diamond Standard, and the horizontal dimple keyway with the self-clean keyway as well. This just helps keep any sort of dust and bits that might collect in your pocket from going into the keyway. So quite clever really, just a little detail. It's not security, but it's a really nice detail with this lock. So just looking at the lock from the side view now, so you can see that we've got the sacrificial part at the front. If someone grips this lock, it will deliberately break here as opposed to snapping in the middle, which is what they would be aiming for. A second sacrificial part here, and as you can see, this lock actually is built in 3 parts. It's not just one piece of solid brass that you would commonly see with a standard lock with no accreditations. So you've got an external and internal part, and in the centre where you've got the molybdenum core, this houses the lockdown mode, which is the firing pin that shoots into the cam, which prevents anybody from breaking in following a snap attack. This core is actually 25% denser than iron, so it's a pretty serious bit of kit. So the Ultion actually has quite an impressive 20 anti-drill points, 6 of which are actually visible from the bottom, and I'll just show you here. So working along from the front in, you've got the 6 pins. But the anti-drill points are here. We've got 2 at the front, either side of the pins, and then another 4 in the second part. So the first 2 in the first sacrificial chamber, and then if this does get sort of snapped off, there's still another 4. And that's just, as I say, that's just the visible ones. But what we'll do now is we're going to take this lock apart so you can see everything else that's going on in there. Okay, so we've taken a cylinder apart now, an Ultion cylinder, so you can see what's going on in there and how it's protecting you. And we mentioned the 4 methods that are tested in order to become a British Standard TS007, which is pick, drill, bump and snap. So we'll start with pick, though incredibly rare. I've never known it as being a method for burglars to gain entry, but that is the pin. So it's good to know it's there, even if it's never actually needed. But it's in there anyway. In terms of the drill points, we mentioned the 6 drill points we saw in the external part earlier, and we mentioned there are another 14, and here they are. They're all on the plug here. So we've got 2 large, another 2 large there, and 2 small. That's 6. A 7th there, and then anti-drill crescent. On the other side, we've got 2 large on the other side, as well as 4 small, and another anti-drill crescent. So that's the 20 anti-drill points we mentioned earlier. If you're familiar with lock bumping, we have an anti-bump pin as well as different weighted springs. You can see the different colours there that really just sort of really emphasises the point we're making here, that you've got your different weights along with the anti-bump pin. It's going to be extremely hard to bump this open, if indeed possible at all. Certainly a massive lottery taking it on in that way. And of course, the most common way, and this is where we see around 25% of attempted burglaries and burglaries, certainly in West Yorkshire, are down to lock snapping. So we mentioned earlier the sacrificial points, but the main thing that really separates this lock is the firing pin, which on this one, as we've taken it all apart, the firing pin is fired in, and we'll see. I'll just pick up the keys here, and I'll try my best to turn that for you. And you can see that cam, it's just not going to be manipulated, and due to that firing pin, that is not going to be opened. And that is why Brisant are able to offer the £1,000 guarantee. It certainly gives me, as a locksmith and home security company, peace of mind that we are fitting genuinely the top lock on the market, and it's good to know that we're fitting a lock that is absolutely doing the job that we want it to do, and it is securing your home, because ultimately that's why you would want this.